Yo. There we go.
I guess it would help if I unmuted, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would.
I like
Did
that.
I unmute you? Did you mute
No,
me?
no. Hey, I mean, what would a podcast be without a little technical difficulties?
That's what I was saying to you.
Right?
I'm also going wireless this time.
Look at that.
I undid it. It's here. It's charged.
Did you get a new mic?
Wires. I have all these wires here in the corner, and
Yeah.
I'm like, it's to feed this around the arm. I'm like, that's not gonna. Yeah, it's too much. It's too much. So, a little intern came up with this one for me this morning. So I'm going to say, welcome to Open Collar, the only show where we discuss movies and TV shows so passionately, even our popcorn has a favorite actor.
Nice. It's true. Right?
So I see Grow Astros is, for those unaware, because I have it actually turned off.
Yeah.
There we go. Display names on the live stream, youtube.com/@OpenColorPod to watch the live stream. Get that out nice and early.
There we go. Let's go.
But you have a Blue Jays hat on.
Yeah, I'm just angry at the Astros, my Astros, and I decided, you know what, I'm gonna not wear their hat for a couple of days and see if that fixes things. So they got swept this weekend against Kansas City at home. Kansas City is the worst or second worst team in all of baseball. They're definitely the worst road team in the American League, and they're in Houston, and they got swept. They played Kansas City a couple weeks ago and lost 2 out of 3, and they played Oakland as well a couple weeks ago and lost 2 out of 3. So they're really losing games against teams that they shouldn't be losing against, and it's causing them to go from first place in their division to the very last wildcard team. And so I'm a bit frustrated. Now, granted, I've had 6 years of glorious playoff magic for my Astros. So I feel like I'm on the back 9 of that right now. But I mean, at least one more kick at the can would be nice. But they're not making it easy on themselves. So, and then the Blue Jays, they took the series in Tampa. So they're in a very good position.
They also have been making things frustrating.
Yeah, that's the Blue Jays way. The only thing consistent is the inconsistency.
Or is that the Toronto way?
Yeah, it could be. Could be the Toronto way. But we're entering into our last week of the baseball season. Do we have a sound effect for crying?
No,
put a pin on that. Maybe might have to use that this time next week if the Astros don't.
Closest we have is
Yeah, that's
loops.
That sums up the Astros weekend.
If only this would all just not be an issue every week.
just
why can't my default setting be loop is off, and then next week loop is still off? No, defaults to being on.
We took the summer off. It was our walkabout, and we came back. We're just getting the kinks out. We're just shaking the rust off. All of the things that you would say.
Well, it also doesn't help that we're using a setting that's for background music, a sound effect soundboard. But hey,
yeah,
as they say,
if you don't know, now you know.
So now you know.
So you had some hockey today. How was that?
Short. It was the after that was the fun.
Why do you say that?
So my in-laws were over. Other like the parental in-laws, the sister-in-laws took their kids to the game as well. So little ones, babies, were watched at our house. So I came home after work, having dinner. I'm washing stuff in the sink, putting stuff in the garbage. I noticed there's water under the sink.
Uh-oh.
So I'm like, this is like weird. Like first inclination was something dripped from the garbage because it was just a very small, almost like if I didn't see it, I wouldn't have noticed amount of water. So I moved stuff out and I wiped it up and looking, and then there's a drip. So then part of me thought, okay, maybe it's all just hit the pipe. So it turns out the little, I don't know what the actual terminology, but it's kind of like, like the little bowl that's under the drain. I guess the threads of the pipe that's screwed together rusted and corroded off to the point where it's just loose.
Oh,
so
that's fun.
When the water's in the sink, it's draining, but I guess depending on the volume of water or how it's falling into the drain, it's dripping around the crack of the bowl. So of course, what makes things more fun when you're rushing to get that replaced at Home Depot, living in Canada, that's right by the arena.
Oh,
I spent more time getting to the Home Depot, Shadow Home Depot, than I was in the actual store. And the part that I could not wrap my head around is I am going towards where the game was, not leaving where the game was. Yeah. So I don't understand why there's more traffic to get to the Shadow Costco and Home Depot area of Canada than it was to leave a building of 14,000 people watching a hockey game.
It's only because you needed to get there before it closed.
Yes, exactly.
It's just like when you need to get somewhere, you're going to be late. You catch every red light on the street.
And I did catch every red light.
Yeah, probably.
It's true.
Probably. Just get me to the damn store.
Yeah.
Did you fix it though? You put on your tool belt?
Yeah, I had a very nice conversation with Christopher, shout out Christopher Home Depot, who walked me through what I needed, what I didn't have, I should have with this, what tools, if you don't have, let me show you where they are, and step by step of what to do, to the point where I was doing everything he told me to do, that I was getting questioned by my father-in-law, who was still here, if I'm doing this correctly. And then after, as I was putting everything away into the garbage, I saw the instructions on the side of the box, and yes, I did everything that he told me per the direction of the box. So while I typically, if I fix anything, I always question whether I did it right or if it's even going to work. So now I feel a little bit more confident because I did what the guy told me to do and I followed the box.
Did you twirl the hammer around and then slide it into your tool belt when you were done and go pew pew?
No, but
no, nothing like that. You should have. Oh man, I told you.
I also didn't have a tool belt or a hammer to.
Oh,
well, I would just needed to use these, wrenches and things. But the was for sure there.
Mentally, so, you did it mentally.
I did my best. So hopefully, going forward, everything in the sink is A-okay.
There you go.
So I'm going to bring this back briefly and have this little conversation on this.
Oh.
Cory Goes to the Movies, brought to you by myself.
Brought to you by Cory.
Brought to you by my free time.
Yeah.
I didn't actually go. This is streaming. I watched Barbie.
Okay.
I didn't like Barbie. And not because of what it was.
Sure.
I knew I wasn't going to like it. But why I didn't like it, I didn't expect.
I've heard you are either going to love that movie or hate that movie. Yeah, I'm curious of your thoughts. And you can spoil it because I have no intention of seeing it.
Everything you need to know about the movie, you've got from the trailer, the commercials, the tie-in fucking commercials. My biggest gripe is that this movie created a universe that is not like what our universe is, but what it wants our universe to be to justify the message they're trying to get across. Like, this movie went out of its way to say men control everything, which we know doesn't happen nearly as much as this movie wants you to believe it does. Like, for example, and I know Bill Maher, not to bring him up again, we talked about him last week, talks about how like the movie shows the board of Mattel. Now in real life, most close to 50% of the executive board of Mattel is female. This movie, it's all male. So right there, you're saying this company, which we're making aware, self-awareness to this exists in this universe, that it creates the toy, is run only by men. And it's not. We know this. It's not. It's public record that it is not. They knew making this movie that it was not. So what are you doing if not to try to create a conflict and a message on purpose, knowing damn well that this is not backed? So that struck me as something that's like, okay, why? Like, we're already in a world where, like, we're dealing with, men who think that they're being singled out and pushed aside, and it's a female centric. Like, we know that just from the fucking fans with Marvel.
Yeah.
And then the other part, which was completely unnecessary, is that this is a movie that there's like Barbie Land, like the toys, like Margot Robbie, all of them, they're toys. Apparently they're all toys, and they have this parallel universe with how they're played with in real life affects how they're being, like, how their lives work in Barbie Land or Barbie.
Okay, that's interesting.
Then at the end, towards the tail end of the movie, Margot Robbie's Barbie's like upset, crying, talking about I can't remember the exact words, but it was like something akin to like she's not attractive anymore. And a narrator, which is Helen Mirren, was like basically stops and says, this would be more believable if she was not played by Margot Robbie. So I'm like, so in this universe, you're saying that this is also a movie, and this is an actor playing a character who is supposed to be a doll in this other universe, which is now real in the parallel Earth universe. It's like you're going meta for no reason. You're being self-aware for no reason. You're telling the viewer who's watching this movie about this story that this is a story being played by actors, not a story set in a fictional universe.
Oh, but come on, Corey. All the cool movies are doing it, going meta.
Not to this extent, though.
It's amazing, eh? Like, it takes
it's like they're not like they're breaking the fourth wall, but unnecessarily. You're trying to convey a message of something, and then by doing this, you are literally saying everything is bullshit. We are telling you what we want to tell you because we want to tell you this. That part of it, and then like
$1 billion.
Yeah, and by all means, if you like this movie, good on you. I'm not saying this is a shitty movie that you can't like. It's clearly not for everybody. I don't know if I said before, like my kids saw it in the summer, and my 10-year-old, all she took out from this movie is, if you're not pretty, you're not happy.
Wow.
Yeah. And like no one said anything. That's her watching this 2-hour movie. She walked out thinking like that's what she took from it.
I'm surprised then that it's been so widely accepted when we live in a society that is very ultra sensitive to that, which I agree with. Like you don't need to be pretty to have self-worth. But for people to walk out of the movie and question it and have it be controversial, yet it be one of the most successful movies of the year, like a cultural phenomenon, it's confusing. Did they take a page from like every other movie now and do like a secret scene, or like have it be suggested that it leads into like a larger universe, I guess?
I didn't stick around really for the credits. Like it wasn't like, oh, let's just see what's
time to go.
I know when they I think just re-released it on the 15th or something like that, they added more into the credits. So I don't know if it was deleted scenes or outtakes, like the old Smoking the Bandit. You just put bloopers at the end.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I've got no interest in seeing it, but I
assumed it would have been stupid fun. Like that's the way it was kind of like, like they were like fish out of water, like a Dumb and Dumber type thing. Like,
and like, were there any funny parts? Like I saw the one scene that I saw, I don't know if it was like a sneak peek or if it was part of the trailer or whatnot, but it was when Simu Liu and Ryan Gosling were like barking at each other, and it's like, I'm gonna beat you off or something like that, and it
Oh yeah, you
was
want to
like
beach off? Yeah.
you want to beach off, yeah. And so you can kind of, I got the sense like, okay, there might be some jokes that adults will get, but the kids, it'll be over their head.
Yeah,
Was there much of
it's
that?
there was, and there's actually a lot of political jokes about, because the whole thing for Ken when he goes into the real world, I say quotes, and finds that, you know, it's a male dominated world, men have the power, versus in Barbie Land where, you know, Ken's the accessory, he's a sidekick to, so he takes that patriarchy back to Barbie Land. And I don't know how
It's called Barbie Land.
I believe so, if I remember correctly.
Geez.
It seems too generic for it not to be, but also it's too generic that it was likely not called that.
Yeah,
but we'll say that.
Yeah,
for the continuation of the story. But the one part I couldn't get over, which is kind of funny, is like their mantra, all the Kens now when they took over, is the song by Matchbox 20, you know, push. You know, I'm gonna push you around.
Well, I always wanted. No, I'm thinking of the Canadian band. Who am I? How's that song go?
I don't know.
Okay,
what you're thinking of. And take two.
And
you're with me now.
Restart.
Yeah, like that's literally like that's like their mantra because of the chorus. This is, I want to push you around. Well, I will. Well, I will. I want to push you down. I want to take you for granted.
Right. Yes.
That is their credo. That is like on the walls. Because now they run Barbie Land and the Barbies are subservient to them.
I'm so confused by this movie.
You might have to check out just to go, what the hell is going on?
Because like, you know, you're explaining, you know, the movie, obviously, and parts of it are like, how can this be made in today's world?
This is a domestic violent relationship movie.
Yeah. It's odd. Very odd.
And girls are eating it up. Like I don't get it.
And dressing up like in pink and having like Barbie parties. Like I've seen posts on social media where like they'll do like a pre-party at someone's house and then photos at the movie theater, but like the spread in the house is like, you know, pink cupcakes or pink cake, and it's like, oh my god, like take it down a notch.
But again,
take it down.
If it is your thing, all the power to you.
Yeah, hey. Barbie.
Right?
There's going to be a sequel. Like there's going to be.
Yeah, there has to be. I don't know what you do if like this
double
was
down.
This was your end game of this is the story you wanted to tell.
Just double down on, you know what? Now I feel like I need to see it just to, number one, to see if I can make it through the movie, and then number two, to see if I can.
Yeah, it didn't like it's. I think just shy of 2 hours. It didn't seem that long. Like it moves. Like there's no lag.
Okay, well that's a plus. I'm not dragging along.
No, and it is extremely cheesy and over the top performances. I don't know. People are saying Ryan Gosling, best supporting actor. No,
come on,
please,
really? No,
like,
I'm sorry.
I don't know. Like, where does the line get drawn on performances? Because you are overly dramatic. Is that an Academy Award winning performance, or do you just need to be just eccentric? Like over the top, a different way. Like he plays it over the top, goofball, corny. But is that where you draw the line of Academy performances? Like if someone's just going to ham it up versus someone who's going to give it their all, and he could have given it his all to do that. But I don't think you really need to do much just to be that
silly
character.
Yeah. Well, nominations for Oscars will be coming out in the next few months, I would imagine. So
this is true.
We could see Gosling on there.
We could
for Barbie.
Hell, you know what? Since last week, by the time this taping is done, we don't use tapes.
Too much 80s references.
Might be over.
Oh yeah.
They're apparently meeting, and over the past couple of days, it's somehow when people are realizing we have nothing down the pipe for the next few months. Things are looking good.
Obviously, I mean, I shouldn't say obviously, but there's a really good chance that it will be resolved before the Oscars. But if we're still going on, would the Oscars like, would they do the Oscars? Or
Like
would
at
they
the
just give
Oscars?
would they just announce the winners and not have people receive them? Because I feel like they're not
Speaking of
promoting a
that,
movie because they've already played in the movie, right? So I don't know that there's any restrictions for them attending. I don't know.
no, like yeah, I guess it would all depend the guidelines for SAG and stuff. Like, is the Oscars itself considered a giant commercial for every movie that got nominated? Maybe.
Yeah, perhaps.
So if I guess if you're attending while you're receiving award for past work, are you then not like promoting that project? Because
Yeah.
there is Oscar bumps, right? They get re-releases and stuff like that. They kind of use it as a commercial to start throwing the nominated for 17 awards, winner of 4.
You know, all that happens for me whenever I watch the Oscars is like, oh yeah, I want to see that movie, and I'll never see the movie.
Oh
I'll
yeah,
just forget about it. Like, oh
yeah.
yeah, no, I'll add that to the list. I'll add that to the queue, only to realize that, hey, that movie that came out like 7 years ago, I don't think I ever saw it.
Yeah, I used like the Oscars for me used to be like the Super Bowl. I'd watch it all the time. I'd watch going in. I've seen most of those movies.
Mm-hmm.
Now, like I just watched Interstellar like a month ago
For the first
and
time?
yeah, and I love Nolan movies. And I decided, I'm gonna watch his catalog from start to finish.
Mm.
And so I threw it on there. Yeah, I had never seen it before, and that was something I really wanted to see. I really dug it. It's long, but I dug it.
Yes, very long.
It's like one of the most like scientifically accurate like movies that they've done in the past like little bit.
And the score, I don't know what it is, but the
Oh,
score
Hans Zimmer.
was really, really like it just fits so perfectly with the movie. I want to rewatch that and talk about it more in depth with you, because I really enjoyed that movie, and I'd say it's probably been a few years since I've seen it, but
Well, it came out a few years ago.
What's that?
So it did come out a few years ago.
Yeah, it's been a while. But it tends to be on AMC quite a bit. But I'm also probably streaming too that I can find it. So it is a long movie though.
Speaking of Nolan, did you see good friend of the show, Michael Caine, is basically retired now?
No.
Yeah, he said he's essentially retired. He's 90-ish. He says he's got difficulties walking, and he's had a good run.
That girl was only 16 years old. I can't
Size of a tangerine.
Yeah. Well, he has had a long and illustrious career, so there's no shame in hanging them up when you're fucking 90.
No.
Like, he needs to justify to people, like, you know what? No, I can't act because it's hard difficulty walking. You must understand getting up and down. Like, who cares? Like, your catalog is super long.
You're a Keaton Batman guy, but I'll ask you, who's got the better Alfred? Bale, or is it Kane, or is it Goff? Who's the better?
Kane. I think he's got to be. But I think it was just his, like, that Alfred was just also part of a larger trilogy that was just so tight.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's yeah, I'm trying to think.
My other thing is I didn't find that with the Burton / Schumacher movies, did they give Alfred really his due? Like, didn't really show his care for Bruce until, I guess, Batman Forever, but sadly Batman and Robin. When he was sick and stuff.
Yeah,
and, like, some of the conversations he had with Clooney's Bruce.
But Burton was always intending on making those movies more campy, right? And so maybe he was, I don't know the actor that played the Alfred back in '66.
Michael Gough.
Is it Gough?
Yeah. Gough.
Yeah. So maybe they're trying to emulate that.
More of a Jeeves, right? More of a Jeeves than a caretaker of sorts. More, I guess, in line with Burt Ward and Adam West's Batman.
Mm-hmm.
That Alfred.
Who played Alfred in the Batman?
Andy Serkis.
Oh, right. Yeah. What'd you think
And
about that?
him too, I also found was kind of more like offish with.
Yeah.
But younger Batman, right? So younger Bruce. So I guess there's more of a hard line between the two of them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But that's all geek news. That's later. Usher. Halftime show this year Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, sure.
I think we have established now the Super Bowl is no longer for everyone. It's more for the female persuasion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's theirs now.
Yeah.
Hands
Yeah.
off.
And they've claimed it. I always feel like the halftime shows are always they're always like 9 yards. They don't really quite get the first down. If I'm using a football analogy, like there's never anyone that really blows my mind. Like there was it last year where it was like Eminem and Dr. Dre.
Right. That was the salute.
And yeah, and they were building it up like this is going to be something massive. And granted, there were some really, awesome moments within the halftime, but still left me wanting more, I felt. So, and I feel like that's just kind of par for the course. Like they give them, 6 or 7 songs, several, maybe a minute of each song and just kind of go there. And so I'm not good for Usher. He's probably getting paid like $10 million for it or something stupid.
Yeah, I thought I heard somewhere like they don't get paid because they use it as a promotional tool, but I could be wrong.
I was at Super Bowl 43.
Oh,
that was in Arizona. It was when the New England Patriots lost their perfect season to the Giants, and the halftime show was oh my god, I am drawing a blank. It was Free Falling. What's the guy's name? Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Thank you. And that was a really good show. So much that I forgot his name for a moment.
You remembered who it was. You could remember who that name belonged to.
That's right. Yeah. But it was good. I mean, yeah. Where is it this year? Do you know? It's always usually down in one of those southern states. Arizona.
Because why would they have him in the cold climate in February?
That's right. They did do that one year. They had it in Detroit, I want to say. It was when Pittsburgh.
That don't count.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, come on. It's in Vegas.
Oh. That would be fun. That would be fun. Well,
how many people are laying down have Super Bowl tickets on like 00?
Yeah. It will be a party there, that's for sure.
In all your years of life and watching sports, did you ever think that you would live to the age where we're going to effectively have every major sports league have a team in Vegas?
No.
Do you think there would be any team in Vegas?
I didn't think there would ever be a team in Vegas because I always thought that the league, regardless of which league, the league had a pretty hard stance on gambling and the risk that it put on the players to potentially gamble on its own sport or just gamble in general. I was quite surprised. And I feel like there's so many, now obviously depending on what sport you're talking about, there's a lot of markets that are, unused or untapped. Vegas, so like, yeah, because you have like baseball. Oakland's going to be moving there within the next, I don't want to say 3 years or so, 3 or 4 years, maybe 5.
Yeah. It'll just be the NBA.
And then, yeah.
They don't have one.
Which they will probably get a team that will share the stadium or the arena where the Golden Knights play out of. But I mean, once you get one team there, it's a matter of time before they're all there.
Yeah.
Like even MLS, like I'm sure they'll get an MLS team at some point.
Just looking here, it wasn't really until Super Bowl 25 did they really have any notable names at the halftime show.
What year is 25? That would have been
91.
91. Okay.
Yeah, New Kids.
Oh wow.
New Kids on the Block with Disney characters.
Okay.
Then Gloria
It's a bit
Estefan.
weird.
93,
In the Miami
Michael
Sound
Jackson.
Machine?
Doesn't
Wait,
say.
wait. So the NKOTB was in 91, you said?
91, 92, Gloria Estefan.
Who was 90?
93 was 1990. Pete Fountain, Doug Kershaw, Irma Thomas,
Okay.
Nickel State University Marching Band,
So
Southern University Marching Band, and USL Marching Band.
So in 1991, they took a right when they turned right instead of left, and we are now where we are at. Okay.
Yeah, 93 is Michael. Then 94, Clint Black, Tanya Tucker, Travis Tritt, and the Judds.
Mm-hmm.
It's a country affair. Well, it was in Atlanta. Makes sense. Patti LaBelle, 95.
It's a bit odd.
With Tony Bennett and Titty Pendergrass.
There must have been
there's your Miami Sound Machine was down there.
Huh.
Dinah Ross, 96. There you go. 97. Blues Brothers featuring Dan Aykroyd, John Goodman, and Jim Belushi with James Brown and ZZ Top.
Oh, that would have been freaking cool.
98. Boyz II Men, Smokey Robinson, Martha Reeves, The Temptations, Queen Latifah. 99. Oh, Gloria Estefan returns with Stevie Wonder, Big Bad Voodoo Daddy, and Savon Glover.
In Miami?
Yes, sir. Miami Gardens, Florida. And then we get, the bigger guys. 2000, Phil Collins, Christina Iglesias, Tony Braxton. 2001, Aerosmith and NSYNC. U2 was in 2002. 2003, Shania Twain and No Doubt.
That one's a little less like when you hear the other names.
Well, it also had surprise guest Sting.
Yeah. Makes you wonder if that was one year where they originally had someone else, but they backed out, so they had to scramble. And who can we call? Get Shania Twain on the phone. And she's in Ontario somewhere.
And we all know 2004. What happened there?
Oh, the nipple.
That's right. Janet, P. Diddy.
My God, that would be 20
Nelly,
years.
Kid Rock, Justin Timberlake, and Jessica Simpson. Yeah. And Houston.
Okay.
And then here we go. These are the ones that I think you'll never top. 2005, Paul McCartney. 2006, Rolling Stones. 2007, Prince. 2008, Tom Petty and Heartbreakers. 2009, Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band.
I remember that one, yeah.
2010, The Who.
Yeah.
And then this is where we lost it. Black Eyed Peas.
Katy Perry's in there somewhere.
Black Eyed Peas, Madonna, Beyonce, Bruno Mars, Katy Perry, Coldplay, Lady Gaga, Justin Timberlake, Maroon 5, Shakira, Jennifer Lopez, The Weeknd, Dr. Dre, Snoop, Eminem, Rihanna, and then now Usher.
The Maroon 5 one I remember was terrible.
Everyone. There was not a person, I think, who walked out saying this was good.
Yeah.
Except for maybe them.
Probably. The Weeknd was okay. That was when he was running around in the mirrors, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Madhouse.
Was okay. But that's the thing. For me anyway, they're just not memorable. I remember Katy Perry for the wrong reasons. She had a bunch of bouncy
the left
sharks. Yeah. And it was, am I watching Nickelodeon or am I watching the Super Bowl?
That's right. Baby Shark.
So is it just Usher or is it anyone?
As of right
Usher?
now.
Okay.
That's what it's saying.
I'm sure they'll.
There's always special guests that show up.
For sure.
He's going to bring Bieber on.
Yeah, probably. Or
anyone he produces.
Or Timberland and, could be good.
So you're talking about Weeknd and House of Mirrors. Kevin Bacon, our good friend, bought a haunted house on a piece of land with the condition that he must destroy it to avoid being possessed.
Is this for real?
This is legit. He was on Rob Lowe's podcast, and he said that so they were buying property where he is, and so they went and bought a piece of land, and the condition of the person who was selling it was that you cannot step foot in this house. And he's like, that's weird. Like, I'm not gonna buy a piece of property and being told
To
I
not-
can't do anything with a house that's on said property. Like, what if there's somebody now living in there and I own this? And so there's like a lot of back and forth between him and the guy finally said, like, I grew up in this house and I'm afraid to tell you, like, it's haunted and I don't want you to step foot and somehow become possessed. So, so like, okay. So apparently they did, but they made the agreement. They bought the land and he went into the house because that's what you do, right? When you own something. And he said it was nice. Like, they went up there, some beautiful old pine boards, a banister. And he's like, we should take this. Like, and then Kira Cedric, whom he's married to, just like,
Yeah.
I'm not fucking taking any of this shit to our house. Like, so they bulldoze it and that's the end of it. But
and they just, what does it say where like he bought the house?
Not in the article.
No,
I see here. But he did say that apparently the story regarding the house and why it's haunted is that a Native American who in the 1700s had been murdered by a colonial soldier in the house. And they brought in paranormal experts. And I guess the whole thing is, this is like legit a haunted house.
And then, I mean, I would sell that thing quicker than... I wouldn't be stepping foot in it. I'm a bit of a puss when it comes to that stuff. I'd be like from the outside, like, oh, that's cool. Yeah. Hey.
Would you not think that potentially, house or no house, like there's spiritual entities within the grounds?
Yeah, like it's not going anywhere. Like it would just be
like if you kick something out of a house, it needs someplace to go.
100%. Even like you need to, don't, because if you build, and listen, ghosts can go through walls. We know this. Hello, Ghostbusters. It's a fact. So whatever you build there, it's going to come right back in and make itself at home. Idiot Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, has he learned nothing about all his time?
Honestly,
Stir of Echoes filming.
What else?
You ever see Stir of Echoes?
No.
Yeah,
I saw Footloose though. That was a classic from the 80s.
Animal House.
Animal House, yeah. Mystic River. What was the one? What was the movie? Kevin Bacon and and it was like they were rafting.
Yes.
I'm terrible with names today. My allergies are like going haywire today, so I've got fog brain. But
is it The River Runs Through It?
Is it? And then who's the actress? Like she's in The
Meryl
Devil
Streep.
Wears Prada. Thank you, Meryl Streep. That was a good movie. Again, amazing. So much so.
No, it's The River Wild.
The River Wild, yeah.
Yes. I literally, now, again, I know one person in particular does not like us constantly looking things up. I was typing on my keyboard here, Kevin Bacon, and I put in river, and the first choice was river rafting movie. Not the title of the movie. Literally, somebody said exactly how you described it to look up the title themselves. So,
river rafting.
The River Wild,
yeah.
a fast-paced thriller in which a young family on a whitewater rafting adventure in Montana are taken hostage by a pair of dangerous fugitives. A rafting holiday, a birthday gift.
1995.
Ooh, so close. 94.
94. Okay.
I'll give you credit. It would have been in the theaters end of September 93, home video 95. Sorry, home video 95 and theaters 94.
Okay.
So, half points.
There you go. Almost there. Kevin Bacon, eh?
Shout out Kevin Bacon. Everyone's getting shout outs tonight.
Costco, Home Depot.
That's right. Christopher. Home Depot. Plumbing department.
That's right.
Tell him Cory sent you. All right. Take a break. Come back with some geek news and perhaps something more.
The usual, sir.
Please.
Even after 500 plays, our high-fidelity tape still delivers
high fidelity. Maxell, it's worth it.
It really is.
Oh, I really want there to be like a revival of cassette tapes and players. Just even if it's for like even if it's a fad and it's gone in a couple of years, I just want them to come back. I just want to experience like the sound and fast forwarding and taping over with piece of tape and using
I was
a pen.
thinking the other day, like you always talk about how a generation's not going to know this, a generation's not going to know that. My kids are not going to know about physical media really. Like even Blu-rays is a phantom concept to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like we have, like they'll know a CD from, like so we have a bunch of old, the Disney books. You pop the CD and that reads it to you.
Mm-hmm.
That's the extent I think they're going to know of that, and even if they remember it years from now. But like, oh yeah, you pop this into a player and it plays. Versus, oh, I can't just press a button on my TV and there's 10,000 shows and movies to watch. You have to watch this one thing on this one piece of plastic that we will stick into a box and stick it in a drawer and in a cabinet, and then I have to change it if I watch something else.
We realized, well, didn't realize, we were talking yesterday, we were driving, we have a Civic, and we're like, there's no CD player in the Civic, and like there's obviously no cassette, but it's like even that, like just grabbing a CD and putting it in, that was our distracted driving.
How old's the car? Like what year?
2018.
Yeah, because I have a 2015 Equinox. It has a CD player, but actually has a 17 and it doesn't.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Just like that,
just gone. So 2016s, I think, is the gray area.
Yeah.
Like, does it have one? Does it not? But they all have aux inputs, so that's all that matters.
I just want it to come back, Christ, if clothing styles can come back, be cyclical and music, why can't the devices that play the music come back?
Sony Walkmans?
Oh, I would totally rock a Sony Walkman. I have a box downstairs full of tapes still. I just have nothing to play them in.
Yeah, I'm really surprised with all three of those Guardians movies. We did not get a demand or resurgence of Walkmans.
Yeah. I mean, the closest we got was just like the cover image was a cassette tape.
Look at the tape. Yeah, I used to make tapes. Tapes are fun.
Oh, it was so much fun. And like if you had like a 120-minute one, you were
look out.
Yeah, you would look out, and if you had a 30-minute, you had to be very strategic with what songs am I going to put on.
Remember, I had my JVC, was it, they call them, let's see if I can find it. Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah. No, I used to make mixtapes of Energy 1200. For those that are in the Ottawa area and have been in the Ottawa area for a long time, that used to be a music station. Now it's a sports station. And you just sit by the tape and you just, record, and it took skill, right? Now you just have to search it and add it to a playlist and boom, it's done.
And even then, it was great to sit there and listen to the radio all day.
Yeah.
Just waiting to press the play button. Record button, so you can get what you
That's true, eh? Like we used to actually no idea what songs are coming up unless the DJ would say, "Hey, coming up after the break, it's whatever song, Def Leppard, Pour Some Sugar on Me." Like, yes, that's the one I've been waiting for.
That's the one I don't have on the B side.
That's right.
JVC Gigatube is what I had.
Oh my God.
Look at this monstrosity. With the individual 3-disc change. Actually, I think mine was 6. I think it was the one after this one where, the carousel comes out and then
So was that like a pitching machine up top? Like would tennis balls come out of the...
That must have been that had to be the woofer. But like this thing lit up like a motherfucker if the power went out and came back on.
Oh man, and
So
probably
imagine
like
the nights where you're sleeping and you don't realize that the power went out and this all lit up. Like this, I know for a fact because I watched it at the time, but does this not just scream something that was advertised or a sponsor of wrestling?
100%.
This looks like what they would have had. This is like what their stage setup would have looked like.
Yeah, that thing looks like it could bust out some serious music. What was it? JVC?
JVC. That's right.
Yeah. The closest that I got with mine,
They knew what they were doing.
I had a little black and white TV on my stereo set, so it was like
Nice.
a two cartridge.
Oh yeah, we had that too. My parents
And
had
then
that was in our kitchen.
a little black TV that was in there. It was amazing. Did it work? Yeah. No. I mean, maybe I got like squiggly lines for CBC, but it was cool.
Yeah. Well, you know, you pull out the telescopic antenna and have to
play around with it.
Play around with it, have it over here pressed up against something to hold it, right? With a slight bend in it so it picked up the signal better.
Honestly, just come back for a couple years, like I said. It would be amazing.
It's the struggles that we remember and appreciate.
Yeah, it's true. And I remember that commercial. For some reason, I thought the chair flew back, but maybe it was just the wine glass that I was thinking about. But I felt like the chair went back as well. Like, obviously,
now that you mention it, I picture either it did or it did or it didn't, and we're thinking of like a spoof on like an SNL or maybe Family Guy or something.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Oh, I didn't mention. I forgot to mention in the news segment there. You see this shit about Hassan Minaj?
Why did I? One of my teammates at work was mentioning that there was some controversy going on with him, but we didn't get a chance to get into it because we were in a
so
team
basically, all his stand-up stories are BS.
Oh, that's right.
He made that shit up. He says like embellishments, but like the truth or like the heart of the story is true, but everything else is just fabricated for, you know, creative license, I guess is the terminology. Like you love stand-up, I love stand-up. Like this is shit we grew up on. And we know going in there is embellishments.
Yeah.
But this guy went a whole other level.
Confirmed.
Like this
that
is
he just
legit.
Basically made up stories.
Yeah, like he said, I think one of his stories is like he got anthrax sent to his house. He's like, yeah, like I had something sent to my house. Was it anthrax? Probably not.
Yeah,
but
soda.
He made a story around it. Like he
and
said,
then
like
cash
he wasn't.
in.
Yeah, exactly.
What a guy. I mean,
and I liked Hassan Minaj, like on the Daily Show and shit. I thought he was a funny guy.
Yeah, well, he's fake.
Yeah. Now I don't know what to think anymore.
Now I don't know what to think. But like, you know, even Bill Burr, like the really good comedians are just very observant, and like every story that Bill Burr says as an example probably isn't true 100%, but I'm sure that it's inspired by something he went through, or these are just thoughts that were going through his mind in that moment. And obviously he didn't say it, but he was thinking it. So, but yeah, for this whole thing, like next level, not good.
No, man. And like,
did he lose any deals or anything like that? Like, was he dropped by any?
I don't think it's really gotten to that point yet. I think it was more of this got out, people started talking about it, and now it's just whatever the next steps are. I don't know if he's got any more stand-up like specials. It might be touring that maybe those things get axed, but it's nothing that's come up.
How long is enough time for a comedian to go away so that people forget about him, only to come back and pick it up? I'm thinking Louis C.K. I'm thinking Mike Richards.
Has he gotten really back? I think he's all really depends on how like comes back to the level that they were at when they went away, or just comes back enough for people. Oh yeah, Louis, I forgot about that.
Like I would say 5 years, 5-10 years, maybe not 5, maybe 10. 10 years, go away. Michael Richards, another example. You didn't hear from him at all, and then, you know, comedians getting coffee and driving in cars or whatever the show is called. He showed up there. But yeah, I mean, Louis C.K. was a funny one too. But then obviously we know what happened. So
Yeah, 5, between 5 and 10. Prison
that's a
sentence,
good.
right?
Yeah, exactly. 5 to 10. How long are you in for? Oh, 5 to 10.
Maybe we'll get out early with good behavior. I was going through some socials.
Yeah.
And I saw this. I don't know if you saw it, but it looks like James Gunn's Superman Legacy will be influenced by Superman for all seasons.
Oh, is that for all seasons? Is that Jeff Loeb's? Did he write that, or was that Mark Waid? I can't remember. I feel like I've read for all seasons, but
Jeff
I don't
Loeb
remember.
and Tim Sale's.
Oh,
art.
yes.
Oh,
Okay.
I hit the lever of my chair.
Yeah.
I'm back.
I thought it was going to be like All-Star Superman. I thought there was reference about All-Star Superman.
So his
originally.
actual, what is this? Oh, this is X. So a post tweet. I don't know what they're called anymore. He said, just received this stunningly gorgeous absolute edition of Superman for all seasons, one of my favorite Superman stories, and a huge influence on Legacy, parentheses, and a strangely perfect bookend with All-Star Superman.
Oh, okay.
So does that give you thoughts on what this story could be about?
Honestly, I don't remember for all seasons. But I like, what did it say about the bookend for Superman, All-Star Superman?
It just said this book is a good bookend to All-Star.
Yeah. I thought All-Star Superman was amazing. Beautiful art, well written by Grant Morrison. And it was Superman took in too much radiation from the sun, and as a result was dying. Yeah. Unfortunately, though, I don't remember for all seasons. Now I want to read it though. But with Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale, they had their run. Like, they did a lot of collaborations together. Like, they did Spider-Man Blue, Daredevil Yellow, and
they did Long Halloween.
And Long Halloween,
Dark Victory.
Yeah, so they've worked well together. I'll have to give it a shot. I'll have to give it a read. I don't know if I have any of the issues or not, but I think they were. I remember correctly. It was in prestige format.
Prestige.
Good
movie.
Now, you've obviously seen on social media, like with Henry Cavill not playing Superman, and whoever the guy is that's cast. But rumors of Cavill playing Captain Britain in the MCU, and the more and more I see it, I'm like, man, that'd be sick. It'd be amazing.
It's almost getting to like when WCW was picking up all the wrestlers leaving the WWF. So like one of these studios is going to get somebody who they're not going to continue with.
That's amazing.
Oh, Henry's out of DC. Well, bring him over here. He's going to be Britain.
I don't think Cavill is finished playing in that genre yet. I don't think he was ever really given an opportunity to really flesh it out.
The Witcher.
But he's off The Witcher, right? And so he's kind of open. He's open to, move over to the MCU. I think he'd be an amazing. And he's English too, right? Like he's not a fake English.
No, most actors playing iconic American characters, they're English.
Right. They're all from England. Yeah, I keep seeing that in social media, and I think, you know what, that would be something I'd be interested in seeing.
Well, you need to have a big name tied to a project now to get those characters people might not know into the mainstream. Like, I guess Chris Hemsworth aside, because who knew who he was with Thor. But yeah, that's what you got to do. Like, will Captain Britain have been big if it was any other Brit? Probably not, but there's a huge fan base behind him who thought he got screwed out at DC.
Yeah, he did get screwed out. And I can't think of any other like English actors right now that are like chiseled like him, and they got like the square jawline and can pull off a superhero of Captain Britain or Superman's level, you know.
Yeah.
And maybe just throw him into the second Eternals whenever that comes out, because there was the Black Knight tie-in, right? So
yeah, they keep talking about that it's coming. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't think so.
So since we like talking about Marvel's Daredevil, well, especially the show, former showrunner from season 1 of Netflix's version of Daredevil, Stephen McKnight, posted. I guess somebody was asking him a question about, like, do you feel like a reboot? Like, what are they rebooting it?
Yeah.
And so he comes out and just blasting Disney, and apparently this is a thing that I didn't know about. So he says, like, essentially, not only did they cancel Daredevil once crew got full raise and holiday vacation pay, Disney Plus decided to reboot it to season 1. Therefore, all contracts get rolled back as if it's a new show, and you lose like your bumps and all this stuff. They refer to it as the Disney scam, where they essentially, that's what it is these shows. And if you look through Disney's, the phone's ringing. You look through Disney's like catalog of TV shows. After like the 3rd season, a lot of them get new titles, and apparently, if you give it a new title, it's called, essentially, it's rebooting the show or creating a new show, and then everything gets rolled back,
regardless if they've been on the show for those 4 seasons.
That's right.
Wow. Shiesty.
So there's a good chance for us as a viewer that this is a season 4 where stuff's going to continue, but has a different title. It makes it seem like it's something new. So I don't know. Like, it's shitty for everybody involved.
Yeah.
But
and also, like, I mean, what was it that Marvel was, had a bad reputation for working and partnering with the companies that did like the CGI effects and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just layer this on, and it's no wonder they're not really in a good spot right now, and people don't want to. And this is the thing, like Henry Cavill, maybe he wants to play Captain Britain, but doesn't want to go and work for Disney. Maybe that's all this stuff's coming out now that they're being exposed for the the shysters that they are. That's horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, there's got to be more creative ways to make a buck if you're a studio than to like completely, screw over the people that have helped you made the show successful for 3 years. And let's be honest, if you get to the 4th season of a series, that means that it's quite successful. So why would you? Yeah.
Because Disney also didn't credit a lot of their voice actors for some of their biggest movies when they first started, like Snow White and all that stuff. Those guys didn't get any credits.
Really?
Yeah. Look it up. I think they have since then now. Come out.
People...
like they're dead and gone, so it doesn't matter.
Shit.
But yeah, the examples they gave are like, the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody was on Disney Channel.
Yeah.
Like the 3rd season, all of a sudden, boom! It's the Sweet Life on deck.
Huh.
Same show, same characters, but now they're new location. It's considered a new show in the books. Go figure, right?
Yeah, Disney.
Speaking of goddamn it, Tim Burton wasn't too impressed with the Nick Cage cameo in The Flash.
I don't think anybody was. CGI was terrible. But
he was asked his thoughts on it, like if he had any regrets about Superman Lives that went unmade. He said, "I have no regrets. I will say this: when you work that long on a project and it doesn't happen, it affects you the rest of your life because you get passionate about things, and each thing is an unknown journey, and it isn't there yet. But one of those experiences that never leaves you a little bit. But also, you go into the whole AI thing, and that's why I think I'm over it with the studio. They can take what you did, Batman or whatever, and culturally misappropriate it or whatever you want to call it. Even though you're a slave of Disney or Warner Brothers, they can do whatever they want. So in my latter years of life, I'm in a quiet revolt against all this. So yeah, he was not happy. They took what he tried to make. He couldn't do it. Put it aside. They did it anyway without him.
So because it was a passion project, and I'm just wondering, like,
There's an amazing documentary on it.
yeah,
Superman Lives. The Death of Superman Lives.
that's right.
it's called.
Kevin Smith was involved in it somehow, or was he promoting it?
He
Or
he wrote Superman Lives before Tim Burton came
that's
over.
right.
Yeah,
That's
he was.
right.
I think he was in. He may not have been involved with the documentary, but I know he's interviewed on it, talking about his script and stuff, and his work
Yeah.
with John Peters.
But yeah, I mean, for them just to take it that easily, I have, I understand from Tim Burton's point of view if he's upset by it, for sure. And like you said, right, they can misuse it, and and however they feel they should use it for the movie. Yeah, like that would be pretty shitty deal if I was Tim Burton.
I guess just begs the question: do you piss off people you work with for the
Every
little
day.
bit of fan to
Oh,
the little bit of fan service?
Yeah.
Because that's what that was, right? That whole gyrosphere, whatever the hell, Speed Force,
Come on.
Cannonball, whatever.
Yeah, it was the Speed Force.
We'll have
the cosmic treadmill. It was the cosmic treadmill that was stuck in sand. It was just a letdown.
The movie or that?
No, like that, like all those cameos. Like it was just, like the 19.
Service and purpose. What purpose it served?
Well, it just, I don't know, maybe just to show like that all those movies are, this is one big multiverse, but it was just, it didn't look like, Christ, you can have Nick Fury de-aged. You can have Nick Fury de-aged. You can have Tupac Shakur do a concert, and you can't get Nick Cage to look like Superman without it looking awful. I just don't. I don't get it. They must have used the discount, vendor, the one that's cheaper than the others.
We can't afford any of the new stuff, so it's quick. Somebody get me a PS2.
Yeah.
It's PS2 character creator on like some game.
Yeah, we're gonna make this thing 64-bit, and that's it.
I would have respected it more if they did that. Just all blocky and stuff.
Yeah,
just like a Mario 64.
Just completely take the piss out of everything.
So you asked for time on the comics. Did you get?
Yeah.
You want to just do that next week and we'll move on to something else?
No. I had a chance. So Daredevil, the new volume, came out this past week. Volume 8.
Recommendation.
That's right. Maybe we'll get some graphics. So this came out on Wednesday. Brand new issue, brand new volume. It's written by Saladin Ahmad, drawn by Aaron Cooter. So Saladin Ahmad wrote recently wrote Miles Morales. He's written some Fantastic Four. Aaron Cooter's done a lot of spot work and art for like Ghost Rider, Fantastic Four, and whatnot. So they're both at the helm now for Volume 8. This is coming off of a very successful run by Chip Zdarsky and Marco. I can never say his last name. Chikutu. I'm butchering his name, but it was amazing. So where the last volume left off was essentially Daredevil and Elektra were married, and he took over the fist, which was the opposite of the hand. And he had taken a bunch of like D-level characters, villains specifically, like the Wrecker, and gave them the opportunity to come to his island because now he had an island. And trained them and allowed them to redeem themselves if they agreed to help him defeat the Beast. The one kind of thing, without getting too far into the previous volume, Punisher took over as the head of the Hand, so they were at odds with Daredevil. Anyway, it ended up where that volume ended, where he, Matt Murdock, Daredevil, sacrificed his life by tricking Elektra into killing him so that he would be sent to Hell to fight the Beast and free the souls of Foggy Nelson, Cole North, who's a newer character that was introduced a couple of volumes ago, and McDuffie. I can't remember her first name. Not Karen McDuffie. Anyway, so he's now back. Somehow came back to life.
Of course.
And but the thing is that this volume starts off where he has no recollection of his life as Daredevil. He's like a priest. He's working out of a church that has this anonymous benefactor, someone who's paying for the church. It turns out to be Elektra. Spoilers. I probably should have said spoilers as I was starting. The art is okay, but there was something that really took me out of it, and just I should have backed up. The Daredevil is one of those few characters that I've read every volume since I was young. Spider-Man, Flash, Daredevil, and Green Lantern. Those 4 characters, I'm always reading them. So regardless if I like the run or not by the particular artist and writer at that time, I'm still gonna get it. And I'll give it the benefit of the doubt, given that it's the first issue. So, but it starts off in the first 4 pages. So I'll just show here. It shows Matt Murdock getting a ride in New York in a cab, and he's in his priest garb, whatever you call it.
Garb. Yeah.
So right away he's like, if I've learned anything, it's that when God calls you, you damn well better answer him. I'm like, oh, that's aggressive.
Okay.
Damn. So I turned the page.
Yeah.
I turned the page, and the very next page, first word bubble is, damn, it's good to be home. And then you turn the page after some more dialogue, and he goes on, and there's another damn, and it's over my dead body, damn over my dead body. And then again, so he says it 4 times. And so I feel like the like Saladin doesn't quite have the voice of Matt yet. It's just him and this other priest that are having coffee and just damn this and damn that and damn this and damn that. It really took me out. But the story goes on where, as I said, he has no recollection of his past life as Daredevil. He feels like something's there, but he just he doesn't know how he has these incredible skills that he has. He can't explain it. But then Elektra is now acting as Daredevil. So she's watching over him. She's the one who's actually paying and subsidizing the church. But then she gets possessed by a demon that's trying to get Matt, and then he ends up beating him. And by doing that, all of his memories come back. And so he is still dedicated to the church, and he is now Daredevil once more. So
reborn, as it were.
Yeah. And so I mean, I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. As I said, Frank Miller wrote this or drew this cover, so it's pretty nostalgic.
It's a nice cover.
It is. I hope
that cover would have drew me to the book itself.
Yeah. There was you still got it. I mean, granted, it's just one. I don't know if you could do sequential storytelling anymore, but for a single cover, it's looking pretty nice. So yeah, I just think that they need to find the voice of Matt just a little bit more, and I think they need to sharpen up the art just a little bit. There's a few panels that are a bit disjointed. But again, having said that, I'm saying that out loud, and I'm reminding myself, well, we've gone through like 2 or 3 runs recently of Daredevil where it's been very really realistic, and so when you move away to art that's a bit more fluid and round, and it's a bit of a shift. But so Daredevil 1, I would recommend it. I mean, I got to come up with a rating scale, TBD, but if it was say 5, I'll give it a 3.796 in the recommend.
Little like cutouts of your head, like 3.5 Steves.
Yes, little Houston Astros or something like that, right? But so I think what I'll do is I think every week I'll try and come in with just something that I read that week. I went to the store on Saturday, but it's been such a busy weekend that I haven't had a chance to read much, and so I made sure that just before we started recording, and that I would give this a quick read. So
like same with us. You would think when kids got back to school, things would slow down and it would get easier. And like just today, like we had Ava's friend's birthday party on Saturday, and like I said, today I was gonna work from 9 to 3, and then we had people in our house until 6, and just like unforeseen, life.
There's no pause button. There's no pause button. You know, my better half didn't work this weekend. She was off on Saturday. She
Oh,
works
nice.
every other Saturday. So I was like, perfect. You know, like we can. I'm not alone on Saturday with the boys because they've got soccer and karate and baseball and whatnot still. So, but yeah, it was go. So I just need to get a cold or maybe catch something that gets me bedridden for a few days, and I can just read this is. For the audio listeners, I'm holding up a stack of comics. This is from a couple weeks ago. This isn't what I picked up yesterday. The ones I picked up yesterday are downstairs. So
not bagged and boarded yet?
No, they're all bagged and boarded. They're just they're not read yet.
Oh, not read.
But,
the to-do pile.
The to-do pile. This is a nice
You know what?
cover. Look at this cover.
Oh. Again.
Very nice.
Oh, you audio listeners. Maybe just stop audio and watch.
Honestly,
people sit at tables with their arms crossed and legs
come and
on
view
a
us. Yeah.
We
always give a reminder, right, when there's going to be a recording.
Do we though?
Do we? You check with the interns on that one.
I think I did. Like when we first started, we used to do it like heads up Friday.
Yep.
And then I stopped doing that. That was 5 years ago now.
Yeah.
We're well past my segue, so I'm just gonna press the button.
Florida man, does whatever the fuck he can. Makes headlines every time. Florida's paradigm. Look out! Here comes Florida man.
Yes.
I've been itching for some Florida man.
Florida man.
Florida.
Shit.
Never a dull moment in that state.
Oh, so again, Florida Man theme song for this game is provided us by the fine folks, The Mechanical Shark. Find them on YouTube. They granted us permission to use their song, and we thank them for it. They loved the idea when I asked, and I still think they should get credit all this time after. So The Mechanical Shark YouTube, check them out. They do funny stuff. Okay, yeah, you've been foaming at the bit. So when you asked, I said, you know what? I will stand and deliver, even though I'm sitting. So we have, again, 5 true or false. Again, those uninitiated, Florida Man is a game we like to play where we like to shine a light on, I don't know, the happenings, the insanity.
The Tuesday afternoon in Florida. The Tuesday afternoon in Florida.
So Florida, though, is uninitiated. It's a state in the United States of America where just chaos rules all. So number 1, blank man steals neighbor's front porch. Blank man steals neighbor's front porch. Florida or not Florida?
Oh,
just these are the. I'll give you a little taste. A blank man is accused of stealing a full wooden porch from his neighbor.
100% Florida. Oh, wow.
A Georgia man so it's Florida adjacent.
Right.
Georgia man is accused of stealing a full wooden porch from his neighbor. The porch owner said that while his property may have been abandoned, the 8x10 porch was not up for grabs, although the porch was not attached to the home at the time of the alleged theft. Robin Swanger of Kawata County faces a felony charge of theft. So even though I don't look like I live here and my porch is not attached to my home, it's not up for grabs, sir.
Yeah. Watch out. Your porch might be gone if you live in Georgia. Florida-Georgia line. I just thought of that.
Yeah. You know what? You should use that.
It all makes sense now.
I don't think it's been touched before. Number 2. Now, really think of this one. Man caught with Methburger.
Okay. Like,
Think. Don't just. I know your instinct wants to say.
no, you know what? It's going to be in New Mexico.
New Mexico.
Yeah,
So what are you saying? You're saying
not Florida Man.
45-year-old Timothy Nolan of Killen, Alabama, was pulled over by deputies while driving on the highway. Authorities determined that he was driving with a revoked license and initiated the procedure of impounding his vehicle. During the incident, though, Nolan kept mentioning the hamburger sitting in his car and how hungry he was. And how he just wanted to eat his hamburger. Cops retrieved the burger, but before giving it to him, they performed a burger search.
First of its kind.
Yeah, a burger search. Like, is that going to be a new thing?
Yep.
Turns out the packed onto the patty was a small bag of meth. Nolan was also charged with an unlawful possession of a controlled substance. So
you got to be careful in some
make
of those
sure
states
you are
down.
fully licensed when you have your meth burgers.
For sure. And just don't drive. Pull over and just wait.
Yeah.
And then carry on if you need to.
Eat your meth burger
Right.
on the safety of the side of the road.
Yes.
While you are licensed.
Yeah. We can't have distracted driving.
That's right.
But
you need to be fully focused on your meth.
Some of the states down there, like, why would you even risk doing anything that involved drugs where they would throw you away? Like, this guy is probably going to jail for 20 years.
Yeah. And also, since no one wants to touch upon it, who's just throwing meth on their hamburgers?
Honestly.
Like, we thinking I have, bacon, I got cheese, I got the lettuce, I got the ketchup. You know what this is really needing?
Missing. Yeah.
Yeah, it really needs some meth.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not like missing that little je ne sais quoi.
Yeah, I can't really put my finger on it.
Yeah. I have the pepper, I'm missing the salt. So maybe I'll just substitute the salt for meth. It's Jesus Christ.
It's close enough.
Oh man.
Sticking with the car theme.
Okay.
Car thief tries to identify as dog. Now, this is 2023. People identify.
Do we have to accept them as that, or
you don't have to?
No,
but that's their life choice.
Okay, so we're
car thief tries to identify as a dog.
I gotta go Florida. I mean, it's been we haven't had Florida yet, so I'm just playing the odds here. Yes.
Florida, Palm City, Florida. A police officer pulled over a suspected car thief. When they questioned the suspect, he just started barking. When the deputy asked him for his identification, he refused to comply. It would only say his name was Dog and followed that up with some more barking. It wasn't until the suspect was taken to Martin County Jail that a positive identification was made. The car had been stolen the day before. The 34-year-old suspect was charged with grand theft auto. Bad boy. Bad boy.
It's a I once breeded a bulldog and a Shih Tzu, and it's a bullshit.
What'd you call it?
Bullshit. Oh, Florida man.
A little late, but you got it.
Nah, maybe
we'll edit
he was just thinking on the fly, like, how do I get out of this? I've been caught. Shit, I'll identify as a dog.
Yeah, hey, when your back's against the wall, you already saw
it. That's right.
Just try the whole identify as dog. Number 4, 2-1. So this one correct could give you a victory this week. Blank man breaks stuff, runs over cop, bites another, dances in street. Florida man, yes or no? Florida man, true or false? Who knows?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Florida man.
Oh, Steve.
Oh no,
yeah. That is correct. A Florida man went on an unusual rampage in the city of Winter Garden. Police say that Malik Smith, 27, first went into a mobile gas station convenience store, then up to a smoke shop inside the store, hopped onto the counter, and started to destroy the display. He then took off. While police were at that location taking statements, Smith drove back and hit one police officer with his car. Smith then sped away. 30 minutes later, another officer spotted him dancing on the roof of a car in an intersection. That officer followed him to a 7-Eleven. While trying to arrest him, Smith bit the officer in the thigh. Another officer pepper sprayed Smith as he tried to get into his car. He was tasered. And then it took four officers and a canine police dog to arrest him. This man had a meth burger.
That was what a night. What a night. Jeez. No,
he was not going quietly into the night.
No. I only have one speed, and it's go. Jeez. You know what? I need to figure out with these, Grand Theft Auto and whatnot, like what jail term they come with, because, I mean, it's just stupid. Like, that was a stupid mistake. But, I mean, maybe he's a good dancer, and
maybe he just wanted to dance.
I just want to dance.
Yeah.
I just want to dance.
He just wants to cut loose. Foot loose.
Kick off your Sunday shoes.
And your final one, although like I said, you already won the week, so this is just great. This one.
Of course.
Burglars call 911 for help in moving the stuff that they were stealing.
Oh, God. I gotta hear this story. I mean, no, I think it's Florida, but I'm gonna say no because I just feel like you're mixing it up a little bit. So I'm gonna say not Florida. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna guess. If I'm gonna guess a state, I'm gonna guess Michigan.
Michigan. 2 people in Florida were arrested after they made a 911 call to get help with moving stuff from the home, which they were burglarizing. Deputies responded to a home after a 911 call was made, but nobody spoke. At the home, the deputies concluded that nobody lived there. But they found a man and woman inside. Deputies recognized the man as a burglar at a Dollar General store where several items were stolen earlier in the day.
Great.
The woman told them that she had called 911 to see if law enforcement would help them move things from the house they were burglarizing. They also wanted to wanted to get a ride to the airport so they could spend the weekend in New York.
Now, if ever,
please take us to the airport as well.
If ever there was an audio call that I wanted to hear, this would be the one.
That's right.
911. What's your emergency? I can't get this shit out of the house. The door's ajar.
A pickup or something, or
pivot.
All right. So just so we get the hashtags ready for the show, we have Dollar General, 7-Eleven, Mobile Gas, Home Depot, Costco,
Christopher.
Hashtag Christopher. That's right. Methburger.
Methburger, yeah. Burger Search.
It's right. The infamous Burger Search. There's your episode title.
That's it.
So that was, well, first of all, hey, big win. Big win for McCoy. McCoy's got the gold for Florida Man.
Yes.
All right, outro. Florida Man.
Florida man, friendly neighborhood Florida man. Wealth and fame is one goal. The police, he's ignored. To him, life is a GTA game. Wherever you find reptilians, you'll find Florida man.
I'm trying to read these ones as they go by, and it's just so fast. And all I saw was some poop emoji, and I was like, "Oh, I want to read that one."
Yeah. Well,
till next time.
Actually, I don't even think I have any of those anymore to update the videos. Might have to just have a logo intro and smash cut Florida Man.
Just go for it.
Yeah, I think so. Well, I think that's open caller for this week. You got your outro, my friend?
I do not have it, but I will find it in a second. I will say that
talk amongst yourselves.
For some reason, my allergies. I usually have allergies the last 2 weeks of August and the first 2 weeks of September, but I did a bit of yard work today, and my allergies are out of a 10. It's probably easily 12 or 13 right now. And I usually get a bit foggy when that happens, but
a little foggy, Nelson.
You know what? Allergies. I'll just have to deal with it. That's all for this week's episode of Open Collar. Thank you for joining for another round of discussion and analysis on all things movies, TV, and comic books. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to hit that subscribe button on the YouTubes and leave a rating and review. We appreciate your support and can't wait to bring you even more great content next week. Until then, this is Steve and Cory signing off. You usually say keep it geeky, and we will see you on the next episode of Open Collar.
And now, some feel good Feldman.
Yes.
Guess what? Corey Haim and Corey Feldman are giving out their personal numbers. If you call 1-900-909-3700, you can listen to their private phone messages and get their personal number where you can leave them a message of your own. $2 the first minute, 45 cents each additional minute. Ask your parents before you call. 1-900-909-3700.
If you call me right now, I'll give you my private number.
You call that number, and you'll hear a recording, and I'll give you my personal number if you call that, and we'll wrap.